I often discuss with friends after certain meetings or when we get together sometime to have a nice chat. Um, we often end up talking about certain tenets of Buddhism and Oriental philosophies, but particularly Buddhism, because also they know for many years I've been interested in it. And also, I've been on the spiritual path for 50 plus years. And Buddhism, particularly in the last 15 years, has played a very important part. Even now, I go every week, 2-3 times a week. I do full days meditation there because I enjoy it. It's very gentle. No one wants to convert you. No one wants to convince you of anything. There is a lot of calmness and respect. I mainly go to a Theravada temple, or I could say these days almost exclusively, which is considered the most ancient form of Buddhism. Very simple, very straightforward. Now, I was at a table with another 3 friends, and sometimes some of them enjoy really getting a little bit robust in their the discussions, just give it some punch into it. So they were saying to me, well, what's the point of Buddhism? Because all you want is to snuff it. You just want to die, you just want to disappear, you should have no desires, you shouldn't really strive, you should have no aspiration, it is just you want to blanket yourself out. And one of them even opened, a page on the internet, which was Wikipedia, so you don't know who the heck wrote it. And he looked for the term Nirvana, and someone wrote, Nirvana means to snuff it. So he said, wow, you spend all your life curbing yourself from doing anything, sitting down just to snuff it. Take an anesthetic. You'll be quicker. So I understand for some Buddhists, sometimes when I hear some Buddhists, that's exactly what they understand about Buddhism. But in my terms, from my point of view, having gone through quite a few discourses of the Buddha and so forth, that is not what I understand about it. Of course, it was a language of 2,500 years ago in a particular historical time, and this is a long subject, but so sometimes it's difficult to relate to it. So, Nirvana, does it, that's the state Buddhists meditate and strive all their life and through many lives to reach. And so what is the meaning? Is it really to snuff it? A fire that is put out, you hear often this term, a fire that is put out, the ashes are dispersed, and there is nothing, which for some means death. There is no more Buddha, there is nothing. You died. It's a deep sleep for eternity. That is what most people really understand, including, unfortunately, some Buddhists, or many Buddhists. But I have asked again from very learned monks and researched it. Nir and Vana are 2 words, also very close to Sanskrit. They're in Pali language, but very close to Sanskrit. It doesn't really mean to snuff it. Nir is cessation of something, and Vana, craving. Now, as well, when you look a bit at Vanas, more in Sanskrit as well, Vanas can also be misunderstood as becoming, this need of always finding something else. So it's a cessation of craving and of always looking for something outside yourself. It doesn't say you shouldn't, strive for things and learn things. It's not about that. But it's always thinking is that unsatisfactoriness within us that there is always something missing. And that's very much the term dukkha that is used in Buddhism, about which is pain, but it is more, or suffering, but it is more to do with a sense of unsatisfactoriness. You always think what you got is not enough, there is something missing outside of you, inside of you, and you have to look for something. And that can give you excitement for a certain time, but then suffering occurs, because that thing you are grasping and trying to get is impermanent. Sooner or later, it will get old, it will decay, someone will steal it, So, yes, appreciate things you have, but if you base all your sense of happiness on grasping something, on achieving something, there will always be that sense of unhappiness, of suffering. So, letting go of that sense of unsatisfactoriness, is not that, truly speaking, you are dying, so that's it, it's my I that is always grasping, so I eliminate it. It is more something very different that unfortunately many people ignore, is that you discover your Buddha mind, you discover that you can be and feel complete within yourself. And because you have achieved, by letting go of your cravings or your grasping, the greed, by letting go of your hatred, anger, enmity, by letting go by impossible dreams and delusions in your head, by letting go of that, then you are able to touch that nature you have within you, that Buddha nature. And it is a very complete, peaceful, equanimity, is a state of equanimity where you always are in a state of coolness, or most of the time, or you can always go back to it. So it's really a great achievement. Now from there, when you are free of all this grasping, you can become very creative. It could be, for example, the Buddha, in a way, he was very creative. Yes, he didn't go after being again a king or anything like that, but he preached for many years, I think 45 years, and he gave so much to the world. So, his life was dedicated to being creative, to communicate. So, you can be getting close to a state of liberation. And it's not that you have to leave everything and go. You can be a fantastic doctor, if you are a doctor. But you're a doctor who has got love, loving kindness in its heart, who cares for people. Because the Buddha said, love people as a mother that is ready to give her life for her child. So you can become a source of creativity and productivity. Now, this sense that we talk, some people also don't understand, and it's very difficult to grasp. When they talk of no self or no ego, again, people, they say, oh, this is it, you die and then yourself, your ego, your I goes, there is none of it left. And again, is the deep slumber, is an anesthetic before an operation. But it's not that. Let me communicate what I think it's a very beautiful concept. It means to be without a center. So you still are pure life, you're pure awareness, you are, but within that being, there is not always that tight fist that says it's all about me. So yes, of course, you look after your body, after your home, your family, your children, your work, and you do it with love and with commitment. But you can let go. You can accommodate. You can flow more with people. You know, it's not about this I, this ego always trying to, you know, grasp for itself. I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. I hate you if you say that I'm not right. I have to have this, and after I've had this, I've had to have that. You see, it's all that kind of thing, or delusions. Oh, I think she loves me. She's mad after me. I need her. No, she doesn't. So what? Never mind. Life goes on. So it's a sense of freedom, liberation. That's why it's called liberation, because you're not attached to the delusional dreams of this me, of this I. You know, you can just live in the present moment. And in the present moment, there is a lot of peace, there is a lot of equanimity, there is a lot of caring, there is a lot of giving. You can achieve beautiful things, but it is from another state of being. So it is a life which is not dominated by our egotism, which has got balance and at the same time is flowering with loving kindness and empathy and, in a way, enthusiasm as well. So I'm very sorry that still many people are understanding that about Buddhism, but it's not about death. It's not about death in the sense, death of the ego, of the separation, but not death in the sense that it's like you are in a tomb and you never perceived anything again, and you are completely dead as a dead body, or as somebody who has received an anesthetic before surgery. That is not the kind of, cessation we are talking about. But yes, this concept of being without a center, but being aware, being alive, vibrating, responding, creating. It is, I think, a worth it concept. And so I've made this video so that if some of my friends, they start saying, what is Nirvana? And what is lack of desire? Meaning, is there any point me studying? Is there any point me starting a job? Is there a point me looking after anybody or after myself? Because it's all worthless. It's not about that. It's understanding that the true happiness comes from within. But once you are in that understanding, that being within can become a source of creativity. So it's not being passive, it's not letting go of any hope. It's not saying, oh no, I shouldn't touch money, because the Buddha says, be responsible. He very often talks, about leading a normal life, a lay life. And he says, be very responsible. Be responsible of your resources, be responsible of providing enough for the family, or of looking after your children, and so forth. So all of that is there, if you're going to stay. If you become a monk is something else. But if you're going to stay like me in the world, live happily, live fully, be creative, be full of enthusiasm. But let it come from a being that is not caught in the delusional, egotic, and craving ego. Simple enough. Hope I've clarified a little bit. Thank you.